Good morning. Well, actually, it's morning here. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I just wanted to put some instructions that are more visual on the mock interview assignment. It is extra credit, so you do not have to do this assignment. It is there for you if you miss something for some reason and you feel like you might need to make up some points. Excuse me, I do have the hiccups, of course, because I'm trying to shoot a video, so of course I have the hiccups. Also, you might see my cat. I actually have two cats here kind of running around. Uh, so yeah, there she is now. That little black one is actually a Bengal cat, which means normally they would have like spots and all kinds of stuff in them, but she somehow came out just all black, which is really rare. So I have a very rare Bengal cat. She's black and she's wild. So she's going to be cruising around doing stuff while I'm doing this video. So the mock interview is basically your choice what job you want to interview for. It can be anything from like you're interviewing at Starbucks to you're interviewing at a pretend future job that you're really interested in. So I had a student who interviewed for an anthropologist job, even though right now maybe she's not at the point where she could get her a job in anthropology because she doesn't have her degree yet. But we're just projecting into the future as if you do have your degree and you've got all the stuff you need, and then you would just do your interview. So, in a way, you're just acting. It's basically just an acting thing. But sometimes I think it's easier to go through the process of interview, even if it's not real, just to go through the motions of it. It gets you used to the format and used to how it feels to be put on the spot and ask questions. So, the first thing you need to do is you need to look. There's some interview questions that are required. I think there's 8 of them. Let me just, I'm looking at them right now. Let me see here. Okay, so the first question is for what company or organization will you be interviewing? So you're just going to type out your answers here. So you'll write down I'm interviewing at Starbucks and then put the address and phone number of the location that you would be applying to. And of course, this is all hypothetical. This is all like you're not really applying. You're just practicing, okay? So this is like a little practice run for you. Number 2, it says attach a copy of the advertisement where you saw the position. So if you just looked it up online, then just take a picture of the website where it gives the information about the job. If you looked it up on a search engine, I would recommend Indeed.com or Snagajob.com. Those are the two like big ones right now where people are looking for jobs. So just if you find an advertisement for a position there or a classified job there, then go ahead and just take a photo of that and put that in there. So however you do it, whether you go actually to the company's website and look up the job information or whether you find it on a search engine, it doesn't matter. As long as I can see here's the job and here's the requirements and here's how you apply, that's all there, okay? Then number 3, you're just going to attach or just write down what position you're applying for. So if you're at Starbucks and it's a barista, then you put barista. If it's management, you put manager. Whatever the job title is, that's what you write down for number 3. Number 4, what are the skills and tasks that will be required of you if you're hired? And honestly, it should say somewhere in the job advertisement or on the application itself what the job entails. So you'll just copy those down. What is the average pay for this position? If you can't figure it out here, then I strongly suggest you go on onet.org, onet.org, because every position has the average pay for it on that website. And we'll be talking about that website throughout the semester. And by the way, this project is not due until the final. So you have like all semester to do it. So as you learn more information, it will probably get a little easier to understand what I'm expecting. Number 8, what questions will you ask during the interview? Because obviously the interview is going to ask you questions, but you should have some questions prepared as well for your interviewer about the position. If you don't have questions, it makes you look kind of like you don't care that much. You don't have any questions at all. So those 8 questions need to be attached to the interview. So you'll upload them all together along with your interview file, the actual video file. Number 3, you want to fill out an application if it's required. So some jobs don't require you to fill out any application materials, but that's pretty rare. Usually there's at least some portion that's online. So as you're going through and answering these online questions, make sure you take photos of the application so that way I can see you've filled out all the pages, okay? You also want to create a cover letter and resume for the position, even if it's not required. So even if you're applying at Del Taco or Starbucks or something where you don't need a resume and cover letter, I still want you to include them in this interview, okay? So you'll turn in the questions, your cover letter, your resume, and then also a list of references. And these are just people I could call to see, like, what kind of person you are. Professional references are best, but if you don't have professional references, then you can go ahead and use personal references. So professional references would be people that know you from a job or other professional activity. So like teachers would count as a professional reference. And but like your mom and dad would count as a personal reference, or like your friend would count as a personal reference, if that makes sense. So always list professional references first. You need at least 3 references to turn in with this interview. So then you're going to create your video. And when you do the video, there are a huge list of questions. I think there's like the top 10 questions, and there's a list of like 80 something questions that could be asked in an interview. Just go ahead and have your interviewer, and by the way, your interviewer can be anybody. It can be your little brother. It could be, as long as he's old enough to understand what he's doing, right? It could be your big brother. It could be your dad, mom, sister, cousin, friend, whoever. Just anybody that you can get to do this with you, to physically sit down in a room and video the interview. So have your interviewer choose questions ahead of time. You need to ask at least 10 questions during the interview. So 10 questions at least, okay? So that means you're fielding 10 questions, and just record you doing your interview, and then you'll turn in all that stuff. So you'll have a video file with your interview. You'll have your resume. You'll have your cover letter. You'll have references. You'll have a copy of the 8 questions that I asked you to do. You'll have a copy of, I don't know if I already said, your application that you'll fill out. So that's a lot of stuff. Now, and I think I have an interview upload checklist right here. Let me take a look here. So here's the upload checklist. Let's go through it and make sure we understand everything. So your dress needs to be professional for the interview. So that means, well, when I say professional, I mean it just needs to be appropriate for the interview that you are doing. So for example, you may need to dress in like a suit, or at the very least like some nice slacks and a collared shirt. Or if you're a woman, maybe a professional suit or just a very professional looking dress or something like that would fit the bill for your particular job. If you're applying at like Del Taco or Starbucks or something like that, you can just get away with dressing, I would say slightly professional. Like, you don't want to walk into a place for an interview and look like you don't care at all. Like you just are like, I'm in my sweats. You don't want to do that. You want to look like you're ready for an interview. So even if you do choose to wear, jeans or something like that, make sure they're nice jeans and not all ripped up, and that you're wearing a collared shirt or something nice with those jeans to make it look a little better. If you're doing like Starbucks or Del Taco or Taco Bell or a pizza place or something like that. But if you're applying for a more professional position, then you definitely need to step it up and dress for that position. If you're doing retail, you probably want to dress kind of along the lines of what somebody who would wear the clothes from the location that you were applying for would wear. So like, for example, if I'm applying to Forever 21, I can dress kind of, casually cute, but I probably would want to wear like a skirt or dress instead of choosing to wear like jeans or something like that, because that's a little bit more professional. If I'm a guy and I'm applying at like Hot Topic or something like that, then I might want to wear just like some black slacks and like maybe a cool shirt that maybe somebody would wear that they bought from the store, something like that. So just kind of show or reflect that you understand the brand of the company that you are applying for in your dress when you're dressing for a more casual type of position, okay? Make sure that you upload your interview, your required questions, a picture of the actual job printout or just from the website, just a job description. That's for me, so it kind of helps me when I'm looking over your interview to grade it properly. Your job application, your resume, your cover letter, and your job references. And so all of that is part of the checklist. So you want to make sure that you look through the checklist and that you've got everything, and then you upload all of that stuff. Now, this may be the only project that may not be able to be uploaded all at once. So let me go through this with you. So normally when you're uploading stuff to Canvas, you have to upload everything in the same upload, or whatever the new upload is will knock off whatever you already have in there. So like if you have your application in there and then you put the video in there, it'll bump the application out. And then let's say you have your video in there and you put in the list of references, that will bump your video out. So you have to put your video in, then click add another file, and then add in the next file, then click add another file, and then keep doing that add another file till you get all the files on there, then click upload. The only problem with this is I've noticed some students run into problems, like if you have a slow internet connection, or if your internet connection times out, maybe it never actually uploads fully, and I want to make sure you are able to upload it. So one other thing that you can do that would be helpful if you run into a struggle uploading some of this stuff is you can actually use Google Drive or Dropbox, one or the other. Please do not use Google Docs. Okay, take your Google Docs, put them in Google Drive, then you can send them to me. So the way it works is just create a folder in Google Drive or a folder in Dropbox that says interview, okay? Then put all the files that you would like me to view, so all of the stuff from the checklist, in that folder. Then you're going to create a link. Now when you create a link, this is very important. If you're, for Dropbox, this usually works no problem. You just create a link, copy, paste it, you're set. For Google Drive, you have to make sure that permissions for sharing are turned on. If the permissions for sharing are turned off, I will not be able to see your stuff, okay? So make sure you turn that on, then copy the link and paste it right into Canvas in the text box. In Dropbox, you want to paste it into Canvas in the text box. Please don't paste it somewhere else because it actually won't work in other places. So if you do it in like a different section, just like right in the text box would be perfect. So that is how you will turn in your assignment if you can't just upload everything together. And it may be easier just to go ahead and try to do it that way, because I believe this may be the assignment where you might have more than 2 gigabytes worth of stuff that you need to turn in at once. And Canvas only allows you to upload up to 2 gigabytes at a time. So if yours exceeds 2 gigabytes, you're going to have to use Google Drive or Dropbox in order to turn it in. It's also important that you leave the files in Google Drive or Dropbox until you receive your grade, because otherwise if I haven't graded it yet and you move it, I won't be able to access it. Okay, I think that's everything. So I really truly hope you do get a chance to do the interview, because I think it'll be really good for you. I normally require everybody to do an interview during the regular semester. So if this was an 18-week class, you'd be doing an interview. But because it's only 6 weeks, we don't have time for everybody to do an interview. It's a very short period of time. That's why it's extra credit, and it's quite a bit of extra credit, so 80 points. So good luck, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy doing the interview. Bye for now.